Okay, let's carry on. We'll be discussing answers for paper 1, paper 2. Alright, so this is the information transfer section. Alright, so please take note. Everybody just look here, yeah. What we have here is actually a movie review. Alright, a movie review. You have about mystical guy, and then you have this mystical guy. Look at the title. It's title of the movies here. Mystical guy is about superhero. And then you have the April's Go. And this is a treasure hunting adventure. Okay, and then you have the One Kingdom. And then it's about martial arts enthusiast. And then you have Street Queen. Okay, it's a cop thriller crime drama. Then you have got Wow. Okay, a traditional game turns into a horror subject. And then you have Forbidden. It's a story about family, honor, and true love. So, basically, these are the movie reviews that you got. Alright? Okay. Now, let's go to the next one. We're going to the answers. Okay. Remember, every time you have a question like this, take note. What is it? It's title of the movies. Just now, I highlighted titles of the movies. Okay, so that means you have to know that it must be capital letter or uppercase for the first word of each word in the title. Okay, let's look at the answer. You have a character who is a policeman. The answer here is Sweet Queen. You have exciting action sequence, the One Kingdom. Hidden riches is April's Go. An appealing and funny hero is Mystical Guy. And number 20, tragic love is about Forbidden. Okay, so now, let me tell you or let me remind you, for this kind of answers, you must not have you cannot have spelling errors. Meaning that if you answer here, let's say you answer mythical, this is wrong. Okay, and then if you answer for number 16, if you answer Sweet Queen, you have found the correct answer, but it's not a title because it should be capital S, capital Q. Look at this. These are all capitalized. The first letter of each word. Okay, so if you have you found the right answer, but you answer it like this, Sweet Queen, all in lower cases, it is wrong. Okay, now let's go to the next part. The next part is where you have fill in the blanks with the appropriate words. And you have to remember, here the question is asking you no more than 3 words. A maximum of 3. Okay? Maximum 3 words. Okay? So here, let's just look at the answers. Alright. If you say, I know you are not really a fan of horror, 1 mark. Or you answer hardship and horror, 1 mark. Or you answer hardship alone is considered as 1 mark. And look at this. When you say no more than 3 words, right? Not more than 3 words, you have 1, 2, and 3. Not more. Okay? And then the next one, number 22, the traditional game in the movie is interestingly explored. And then the next one, I like number 23, superhero or fighting bad guys. Again, not more than 3 words. So maximum of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 mark. Okay, and then hilarious. He is really hilarious and charming. Remember, the spelling must be right. Okay, no misspelling. Remember, you cannot have misspelling. And then I like the thrill of wondering where the treasures are buried. So here 10 marks. Okay, 10 marks for you if you have answered all correctly. Okay, let's go to the next question. The next question is a comprehension passage. Alright, this is about 7 to 8 paragraph, and then this is what you got. It's about Johan, who managed to get a grant and he wants to develop a play. But he doesn't have enough money. He has financial problem, but somebody helped him. Okay, somebody who was generous helped him, who gave him a check of 2,500. Let's go to the first question. Question number 26. Where do you find the answer? Everybody, paragraph 1. So where is paragraph 1? This is paragraph 1. Okay, what did Johan want to do with the grant he received from the government? Okay, so here, he secured a modest grant from the government to do so. To do what? When you say to do so, meaning you refer to the line before, to the sentence before. It is to develop a play. Alright, so the important thing is a play. 26b, which word? Okay, remember, it's a word, which means making something more difficult. Okay, that means it's not easy. What is it that doesn't make it easy? More difficult, not easy. So you have here, not easy. Alright, and then you have question number 27. Where do you look at? You look at paragraph 2. So this is paragraph 2. State 2 problems. Remember, it's just 2 problems faced by Johan. Johan faced. Okay. There are many problems that Johan faced. First one, the problem that he faced was buying water for the crew of 38 people, and then he had shoestring budget, and then he had no one to turn to on such short notice. And one more is he was feared he has to close up production, and lastly return home. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 problems, but the question asks for only 2. Take note, yeah, only 2. Let's look at the answer. Okay, what is it that should find? What is it? Okay, what did Johan want to do with the grant? All right, and which word? Remember, it's one word answer. Don't give the whole. If you give the whole sentence, for example, you give this one as the answer. You give the major hindrance he would face. Okay, it's wrong because it's not one word. You must give only one word. This is the word. Okay, let's look at the answer. I'm showing you now. Okay, develop a play. Just now we highlighted in paragraph 1. And another one is for B, which word means making something more difficult, is major hindrance. The answer is hindrance, only hindrance, because it's one word answer. And then out of the 5 problems in paragraph 2, you have to state 2 problems only. Buying water for the crew to get help on such short notice. Or you can use to get help on such short notice, and also shoestring budget. Any 2 out of the 3 here, and any 2 out of the 5 here that we found. Okay, remember, buying water, shoestring budget, feared to close up production, no one to turn to on short notice, and return home. So any 2 of the 5 that I've shown here. Alright, okay, let's go to the next slide. We're going to question number 28. Why did Johan talk grudgingly to Matthew? Alright, I want to ask you, what is the meaning of the word grudgingly? What is the meaning of the word flabbergasted? Okay, here, grudgingly meaning he talked rudely. Okay, he doesn't talk to Matthew politely. Alright, Johan was very quite rude. And then flabbergasted is in shock or disbelief. Okay. Now let's look at the answer. Why did Johan talk grudgingly to Matthew? He was irritated and did not feel like talking. Okay. Let me remind you. Okay, he was just irritated. This is the answer. Irritated and I don't feel like talking. But look at this one. I must be changed to a he. If you answer I was irritated as found in the text, it is wrong. So you must answer, he was irritated and did not feel like talking. This is 1. Okay? If you say I, wrong. Or if you answer, I did not feel like talking, like what you see in the dialogue, this is also wrong. Okay? And then if you look at this one, from paragraph 6, Johan was flabbergasted. Why was this true? He did not expect to receive help from Matthew, or he did not expect to receive help from a stranger, 1 mark. Or you can answer, he received a check of 2,500, 1 more mark. 1 mark there, okay? Only one answer, all right? So that would be 1 mark. Okay, now we are going to the next question from paragraph 7. Why do you think Matthew agreed to help his neighbor? Okay, Matthew agreed to help his neighbor because he here is actually referring to Matthew. He grew pumpkins on his land, barely making a living. He was not making much profit from the pumpkins, and so a neighbor offered Matthew some help. So he's doing the same thing to Johan. Okay? Now, paragraph 8, how were Johan and Matthew alike? All right? They were both helpful and kind and generous. You can write that as your answer. This is your own opinion. All right? You can actually refer this, and because Johan wants to help the children and Matthew wants to help Johan, that's why they are helpful, kind, or generous. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Identify one lesson that you have learned from the passage. Give a reason for your answer. Okay, I want to highlight this. When you say one lesson, remember it's just one lesson. And then look at the next one, the statement. Give a reason. So, a reason, one. One lesson and one reason. So if you look at the answer here, this one is your own opinion. This is the hot part where you have to give your own opinion here. Okay. It can come, that means help can come. It's supposed to be help can come from the, most unlikely places. Okay. And then this is one lesson. So where is the reason? Mr. Matthew had unexpectedly offered his help to Johan. And then there's another example here. Be kind to others or one another. This is one lesson. So where is the reason? You take up the one at the bottom. A stranger can help you in time of need. So only one lesson and supported by one reason. One lesson supported by one reason. Okay, do not give more. I don't need more answers. These are just examples. These are just extra examples that I'm giving you. Okay. Okay, question number 31. This is where you have summary. Okay. For summary, take note, we have based on the passage, write the summary on, okay, what are we supposed to find? Problems. I'm going to use the highlighter first. Okay, the problems faced by Johan. Problems faced by Johan. One more, how he responded to Matthew. That is one thing. And how he got the help he needed. So there are 3 things here that is important. All right. So take note, there is something very important here. The problems Johan faced. This is important. And then, okay, you have this is important. And then how he responded to Matthew is another point that you have to find. And this is another point that you have to find. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Now, for your summary, please remember what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have it in continuous writing form. When I say continuous writing form, this is only one paragraph. Take note. one paragraph only. This is not Bahasa Melayu where you have more than one paragraph. This is English, you have only one paragraph. And then you have to use materials from line 7 to line 33. Okay, draw that box that I told you, and then you have to find your answers there. Not longer than 130 words. Not longer than 130 words, including the 10 words given. Where is the 10 words given? This is the 10 words given. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 words given here. Alright, so how many content points must you find? Here, use materials. That means you have to find your content points from line 7 to line 33. How many content points should you find? You should find 13 to 14 content points. Why? Because here content is a 10, language is a 5. Therefore, you get total of a 15. Can you see that? If you find 13 content points, if any of the points is wrong, then at least you can still get many points or more enough points to get a 10. And language is a 5. Normally, for you who just left, it would be a 3. So we want to get as much marks as possible for summary. Okay, let's go to the text. Can you see this? This is from line 7 to line 33. So you have there from the first here to here. Now I want to remind you, when you get a passage like this, what you have to remember that every time I ask you to do writing, I say, okay, new points in new paragraph. You start a new paragraph with your new points so that it's in order. The arrangement is like that. So for summary, logical speaking, you will find new points as you start a new paragraph. So it would appear probably first or the second line. Okay, that would be the tips that you have to remember. And then don't forget, no explanation, no examples, no elaboration that should be added. You must find content points, main ideas only. Alright? Okay, let's go. I've already highlighted. You see content point number 1 is the first line. Content point number 2 is the second line. Content point number 3 is also the second line. Okay, and then you have content point number 4, content point number 5. Alright, now if you look at this, when I say no elaboration, no explanation, no so this is what you call volunteers for a week for weeks on end would be far too expensive. This is explanation, so we don't want this. We don't want this. Alright, and then if you see that Johan would have to close up production and return home. Alright, this is, and the lines after the as he sip on a glass of, this is irrelevant. Alright, and if you look at this, content point number 6, the man at the table next to him. Okay, when you say is the man at the table next to him, you can sum this up. Remember, summary, you want to minimize the number of words. So this one, change it to the stranger. Take note. Okay, the stranger, somebody he doesn't know. And then if you look at content point number 11, content point number 11, the next day, Johan, okay, left a blazing hot outdoor studio. This one is not needed. This are just telling you what happened before he met the man again. Johan noticed the same man from the restaurant. This is an example of you omit, you disregard the explanation or the elaboration. Okay? Look, sir, what do you want? We don't need this as well. Okay? Alright, so now When he returned back at his hotel, it's not about his problem, it's not about how he treated the man, it's not about how he received the help. Remember your 3 points that you were supposed to find? Okay, so take note. The points are first line, second line, second line, first line, and then you have second line. And then you have the first line and the second line, first line and the second line of the paragraph. You have the first and the second line of the paragraph. So to show you that when you find for your content points, take note of the first and the second line of the paragraph. It's normally there. The contents should be there. Alright, so here you have content point number 1 until content point number 14. So find your points, 13 to 14 content points. Okay. Right, find only the main idea, relevant points to the task. Here we've got problems. Okay, how he got help. Right, how he treated the stranger. So there were 3 points there. And then normally points may be from first and second line of the paragraph. Alright, no explanation, no elaboration, no example, and no repeated ideas. We don't want it in your summary. Only the main idea. Okay. Apply ATR. When I say ATR, what I say is A is analyze the questions. Remember, read from the first word to the very last word. And then T is task identification. Identify the task. Just now we identify the task. Alright? And then you respond. This is your answer. Respond by answering. Okay? So here, you have to draw a box. Remember the box we showed earlier? What are you supposed to do in the don'ts? Find 13 to 14 content points. And then begin with the 10 words given. Why? Because it gives you direction to the first content point. This is a reminder. 1 paragraph only and not more than 130 words. Cannot be more than 130 words. Okay, for your summary. Alright, let's go to the next one. We are going into literature. This is poem. What emotion is expressed in stanza 1? What poem is this? You can see that with the emotion, apple, and the 4. You know it is poison 3. Okay, let's go to the answers. What emotion is expressed in stanza 1? You answer either anger or angry, 1 mark. The persona's anger or hatred is what did the apple symbolize? The persona's anger or hatred. Now, in the end, what happened to the 4? He died. Okay, 1 mark there. But if you say like this, the persona died. Persona is who died? Not the persona, right? It is the 4. So, this is wrong. It should be the 4 died. Then you get correct. Okay, and you can also get marks if you say he fell unconscious. 1 mark. Okay, and then if you look at this, one value, again, one value that you have learned, one value is the same as moral value. Okay, give your reason. How many reason? No S, right? So, 1 reason. Okay, what is a value? Remember, we must not, you should not, we must, you must have that kind of lines. Okay, we must not harbor wrath or hatred against others. Harbor here is keep. Okay, this one suppressing is also keeping. Anger is bad for us. We must learn to forgive. Okay, so here again, one value goes for 1 reason. Okay, and suppressing anger is bad for us. We must learn to forgive. You go with this one. We will not be happy if we feel angry with someone. So one value, one reason only. Do not give more. Okay. All right, let's go to dear Mr. Kilmer. Okay, I'm sure every one of you answered dear Mr. Kilmer, right? Okay, good. Now, choose one of the novels. Okay, take note. I'm highlighting this because choose one of the novel. One of the novel is obviously your Mr. Kilmer. And then write about an event that touches your heart the most. And then you have give reasons why you feel that way. All right. So if you look at this, one novel, obviously you're going to choose Mr. Kilmer, right? And then if you look at the points here, all right, write an event. An event. One event only. But many of you fail to do so. You gave a lot of events in your response. This is where ATR comes in. Your task number 1 is choose one of the novel. Task number 2 is this, an event that touches your heart. And task number 3 is give your reasons. Okay? And remember, it's reasons. So you have 2 to 3 reasons that you have to give why you feel that way. And remember, it is an event that touches your heart the most. Okay? So this is T1. Everybody take note. T1 here, T2 here, and T3 here. First, we read everything. That is A. A is done. T is your T1, T2, and T3. And R is you have to respond. Respond meaning you must answer. Alright, let me show you a sample in a short while. Alright, so again, T1, T2, and T3. Okay, so now this is the sample. Based on the novel Dear Mr. Kilmer, where's your T1? This is already your T1. T1 here. Okay, that I have studied, I have encountered many interesting events. From the many, there is an event, it is an event that really touches my heart. The event is when Richard Knight told his family members at dinner about his passion in writing poem. So this is T2. And remember, it's the event. Only one. I'm not going into any other events. After receiving the advice from Mr. Kilmer, Richard wants to be brave and tries to share about his poems. After dinner that night, Richard collected his guts and told Angie, Gus, and Pa about his passion in poem writing and about Mr. Kilmer. They show no interest and tell Richard not to write poems anymore. Due to this, Richard was feeling so sad and disheartened. Now, I've done T1, I've done T2. Remember, this is my response. This is my response. Response, so this must be my R1 for my T1, R2 for my T2, and this is my R3 for my T3. I've got 3 reasons here. 1, family is the number 1 supporter. I was disappointed with their responses towards Richard, and then I elaborate. Secondly, a family unit is the most important in anyone's life. That is my another reason, second reason. And my third reason is we know that blood is thicker than water. Our family is always with us through thick and thin. Richard has been there helping. Okay, so I've answered. My response is done. I've done the A. I've read the question through. Done. T. I've identified the task. My T1, T2, and T3. Done. So now my response is here. I have R1, R2, and R3. Done. That's why I asked you to apply your ATR Read thoroughly, then you know that you won't miss anything behind. You won't leave anything behind. So this particular text, I'm going to share it with you. So I need you to copy it down when I share it with you in the group WhatsApp, okay? Now, we are going into writing now. When I say we go into writing, okay, everybody please take note. What are you supposed to do for this particular essay? You are supposed to write anybody? It would be a speech. All right, so you have been asked by your teacher to give a speech about, this is important, about the club's achievement in the competition. When? A school assembly. Okay, and then read through everything. You are the president, okay? You have been asked to give a speech about the club's achievement in the competition. And then you go down to, look, remember, read from the first to the very last. So you have, until here, look at this. Address the speech to the school students. So this time, it is a very good morning or very good day to my fellow students. It would be fellow students. All right. Now, so look at this. It is to the students. But most of you, what you did was a very good morning to the principal, the teachers, and my friends, which is wrong. By right, you are supposed to address the students about their friends' achievement in the competition. Okay. Now, so whenever you know that you have to write a speech, you have format. For format of a speech, you need to have a greeting, a very good morning to my friends. And then you have a closing. Thank you for listening to my speech. And then the purpose of the speech is, okay, today I want to give us a look at this, yeah. The purpose of the speech is, what are you talking about? What are you telling about in the speech? Today I am giving a speech about the club's achievement in the competition held recently. That is your purpose. You have those lines, you get 1 mark for format. So just now was good morning, F1. Very good morning to my friends. F2 is the closing. Thank you for listening. And then F3 is, today I'm going to give a speech about the club's achievements in the competition held recently. Okay, so done. F1. Alright, so you have read everything. A is done. Now, T, task identification. This is already task number 1. You have to write a speech. You have to give it at the school assembly. And then you have to give it to the students. Task. You know the task already. And your next task is from here to here. The next task. Okay, you have to use all the notes. Alright, you have to use all the notes. And then these are your notes for content. Point number 1 is the date and the day. Organizer. Who is the organizer? Who conducted the competition? And then the venue. Where is it? Is it at your school? Is it at a science center? Is it at Kajang Stadium? Is it at, where is it? And then the objective is to find future scientists. Or some students have given me their own ideas whereby they get experience. Or some students manage to say, to explore their talent or their skills. Okay, so if you give whatever ideas, you get 1 mark there. And then for the level, okay, this one you have to state whether it is school level, district level, state level, national, or international. Okay, when you talk about achievement, this is achievement, you must have, it's a must for you because you're going to write about the results. You must have the first place or the champion or the winner. And then you must have this third place. and then you have fourth place. You must have this to show where or what they have achieved. Okay, if you say the first invention is solar power bank and your own idea, and then wind energy power supply for the for lights, and the next invention is water conservation system to help water the plants in the garden. So you only get P8, P10 and P11. P12, sorry. If you don't mention first place, third place and fourth place, you don't get P7, P9 and P11. Okay? So you have to remember, you must have this first place, third place and fourth place. You must have point number 7, point number 9 and point number 11 because it is talking about achievement. Okay? So just now I mentioned T1, T2, T3 or T4. Use all the notes. It's here, T4. Okay, use all the notes. So this is how is it. Once you have used all the points from P1 to P12, then only you get 10 marks, 12 marks. Language is a 20, so that goes a total of 35 marks. All right, so T is the task identification done. R is when you write your speech. Okay? Okay, now let's go to the next exercise, the next essay, which is 50 marks. All right. Remember, you have to write 350 words. Okay, everybody look at question number 1. Online learning makes the students more interested to learn. The word is more interested to learn. You have to how far do you agree? Do you agree? And explain why. Explain why. Okay. And then for this one, make sure you are for the online learning. And then for question number 2, if you had a chance to be with someone famous, who would it be? And why you choose this person and why is he or she famous? Okay, so it must be somebody who is like a celebrity, an icon, a role model, okay? And then if you look at question number 3, it is writing a story. Experience, okay. I had some students who wrote about the experience with friends. Remember, it is experience with your siblings during a blackout when your parents were away. There were some who actually wrote about experience with their friends, so that's wrong. And the ending must be we cheered happily. Until here, stop. No more words after this. No more words after we cheered happily because it's end. The ending is there. Okay? Now, question number 4. Cooking is a skill that everyone should acquire. Do you agree? So you talk about cooking is a skill. For everybody. And do you agree? And explain why. Okay? And then describe an outing with your friends. Okay, I had a few students who wrote about an outing with friends, but they forgot to share their feelings. Okay, they were telling me they went out with friends, they watched a movie, they went to Port Dickson, they bought souvenirs, and then they went in a car. Those are things that they did. But they forget because what they did betul, correct lah. What did they do? However, some students forgot to share their feelings. Remember, you are supposed to share your feelings. Mention whether you're happy, excited. Okay? Alright? So highlight those things. Now, what I've shown you is actually the T, identifying of the task. And then A, of course, you have to read through from the first one to the last. Then only you task there, read through, and the task is where I've already identified. And then R is for you to choose and respond. Okay? Alright. So I think that's all for our recording. And I hope it's helpful for you. And this is my reminders, the do's and the don'ts for your trial exam paper. All right, so I'll be sharing your answers via WhatsApp. So hopefully don't give up.